Hi everyone, welcome to Warsaw in November. It is a wet morning today. Now, I've had a thought bouncing around my head all week, and I think I've had this one before. I think I've mentioned it before. And I think sometimes people get the impression that I'm a much more serious person than I actually am. I mean, a lot of the content of my videos are quite serious and they cover serious topics and I'm talking about serious things. And you know, that's fair because it's a very serious topic and this is something that is central to my life and it's something that I do take seriously and it's something that I know a lot of people do. And it's great because this isn't something silly and frivolous. But at the same time, you know, I think I've got a reasonably good sense of humour. I think sometimes people take a lot of things that I say a little bit out of context and think that I'm being a little bit more serious than I am. A lot of the things, well not a lot, some of the things that I say are kind of tongue-in-cheek and maybe that's just the British humour coming out or something. Anyway, so I think this thought is triggered quite a lot because one of the things I think that I really missed out on is the sense of kind of experimentation and fun of, you know, the exploration of what it means to be a girl and all of the things that that involves. Playing with fashion, playing with my hair, playing with makeup. And I don't feel I've had access to a lot of that. And maybe that's something that I feel that I've lost a little bit. I look at other girls in their teens and 20s feeling a touch of envy in their ability to pull off the most ludicrous of outfits, but also retaining a sense of femininity and style through doing so. And I think that's great. And I kind of wish that I'd had that myself, but obviously, as a middle-aged woman just coming into her own now, it's kind of difficult to do that. I can't exactly rock up to work in a boob tube and miniskirt because I have a somewhat professional reputation to uphold. And also, I mean, beyond what I create, you probably find that a lot of queer media and online spaces is full of very serious people doing very serious work, talking about very serious issues. As I say, that's not a criticism. It's absolutely fundamental to getting our message across that we need people to take our lives seriously. But it might give off the impression sometimes that we're a little bit humorless. And I don't think that's entirely true. I mean, ultimately we're people. Some people do that normally, some people don't. Me, I like to have a bit of fun every now and again. So with all that in mind, I thought I'd tell a few jokes. Now, I'm not going to promise these are funny jokes, but I thought I'd tell some jokes nonetheless, just to lighten the mood a little bit. How many British trans people does it take to change a light bulb? Give up? 1, but in order for them to access light bulb changing therapy, they need to first persuade a specialist, at least one, that they are in need of their light bulbs changing. That might require them to live for 2 years or more at their preferred level of illumination, but without access to actual light bulbs in order to help them attain that level. And even then, they might live in fear after having new light bulbs, having these light bulbs taken away at the whim of politicians. Wait, that's not funny, is it? Jesus. Well, let's try this again. Let's see if I can get this right. How many trans people does it take to change a light bulb? 20. 1 to change the light bulb, 9 to congratulate that individual for changing their light bulb and welcoming them into the fold in the community, and 10 trans men somehow forgotten about by wider society. Oh, is that one funnier? How many conservatives does it take to change a light bulb? None. They're all happy sitting in the dark, obviously. How many millionaire comedians does it take to change a light bulb? Well, you see, the problem there is they've been using the same light bulb since the 80s and the 90s. So if they're going to change the light bulbs that they use, they're going to need to get some new material. And that takes a bit of effort. How many turfs does it take to change a light bulb? One. She'll change it and then write a blog post about how she had to stand next to a trans rights activist while she did so, and how it was awful, and she'll invent a story about how she was abused during the light bulb changing process, despite the fact this event took place entirely inside her own head. How many Americans does it take to change a light bulb? About 335 million of them. And the majority of them will blame the people who most recently entered the room for the darkness and decide their best course of action is to forcibly evict them from the room. How many Polish trans kids does it take to change a light bulb? One, plus a whole judicial system which enforces them to sue their parents to get their light bulb changed. They need to go through the court process suing their parents and outlining various personal details, for example, how often they fiddle with the light switch before that light bulb can get changed. Shit, it's getting dark again. How many leftist trans YouTubers does it take to change a light bulb? One, but it will take several changes of elaborate costumes, several hours to change the light bulb itself, and will happen 3 months after they promised to do it. How many tech bros does it take to change a light bulb? None! They're all waiting for Elon Musk's promised perfect light bulb that never needs changing to appear on the market. It's just around the corner, you guys, just you wait. How many Americans and Brexit voters does it take to change a light bulb? Well, you see, the problem is the people that used to change the light bulbs have been kicked out of the room, and then there's no one within the room who's willing to change the light bulb because the conditions for light bulb changes are actually not great. So no one's wanting to take up that particular position inside that room. How many centrists does it take to change a light bulb? None! They're all sitting in the dark with the Conservatives. How many trans kids does it take to change a light bulb? Fucking none! None! We should all be lifting them up and changing the light bulbs for them and helping them to make sure that they don't need to change the light bulbs by themselves, please. How many media groups and news outlets does it take to change a light bulb? Well, first, of course, we need to establish whether or not the light bulb needs changing, and by doing that we need to make sure that we listen to voices on both sides because they're equally valid and relevant. Of course, it just so happens that the Let's Keep the Room Dark voices are sponsored by multi-billion fundamentalists, anti-light people, but hey, that's just how it is. How many UK Labour Party members does it take to change a light bulb? Well, several, but they'll promise that they're going to change the light bulb and everything's going to be brilliant and amazingly illuminated afterwards. But then when they take over control of the room, everyone realises that they're pretty similar to the previous light bulb changing party, and the light bulb's not actually going to get changed. If anything, they're going to replace a slightly working light bulb with a completely broken one. How many LGB Alliance members does it take to change a light bulb? Well, a few. They'll change the light bulb, but then they'll make the trans people sit outside in the cold and the dark because they don't belong in the illuminated room anymore. How many trans medicalists does it take to change a light bulb? One, they'll climb the ladder in order to change the light bulb, but then they'll pull the ladder up behind them so that no other trans person can change their own personal light bulbs. Oh man, I'm having far too much fun here. I think I'm gonna have to stop right there. Well, I know these jokes were probably really super lame, but I just hope that you enjoyed them. I just want to have a bit of fun today in this gloomy, rainy weather in Warsaw. I hope that you're all doing well. Have a wonderful week or weekend, or wherever you find yourselves. And hey, if you've got any good jokes, why not share them in the comment section below. Take care. Goodbye.